This is a presentation on stating the goals and objectives for a grant proposal. I'm Red G. York, University of North Carolina, Wilmington. At the completion of this presentation, you will be able to state the goals of your proposed program for a grant proposal in regard to long-term benefit to the client. The goal does not focus on the service to be provided, but it focuses on the benefit to the client. You'll be able to state the objectives of your proposed program as measured amounts of progress toward the achievement of the goals of the program. This means the objective, like the goal, focuses on client benefit, not upon services. You will be able to make sure your objectives are measured in your evaluation plan. Let's talk a little bit about goals and objectives for the grant proposal. This presentation is about how to write the goals and objectives for a grant proposal. This is for the human services. That is the context of this presentation, is you're writing a grant proposal for something in the sphere of human services. You will provide suggestions. However, you should always use the instructions from the funding source to determine what terms to use to describe various things in your proposal. You may only need to list what I call your objectives, and the funding source may want you to call them goals. It may only be objectives, and it may not ask you to talk about goals at all. So follow the instructions of the funding source. What does the goal focus upon? Is it the services that will be delivered, such as to provide high-quality tutoring to at-risk middle school students? Is that a good statement of a goal? I would say, well, let me give you another option. Or is it the long-term benefit to the client, such as to reduce the likelihood that at-risk students will drop out of school before graduation? Think about these two. They're very different. The first one talks about services. The second one talks about client benefit. And the focus of the goal is client benefit. Should the goal be really broad and vague? Is this a good example of a goal to improve the quality of life for victims of rape? Sometimes people think that because the goal is the long-term outcome, that talking about something really vague like quality of life, it makes sense. I would suggest, however, that quality of life is just too vague a concept. It does not provide guidance. So my question to you now is, can you improve this statement so it will provide some guidance? Hit the pause button and think about this and see if you come up with a solution. Then come back to me. So, how about this? To improve the likelihood that victims of rape will recover sufficiently to avoid requiring long-term mental health services. That would be one of many ways that you could improve on the statement to improve the quality of life. How is an objective different from a goal? Does it focus upon services or does it focus upon client outcomes? Often I get students who think that the goal is the benefit to the client and the objective is how are you going to get there. That's not the way the objective is used. The objective also refers to client outcomes, just like the goal does. The objective is a measured amount of progress toward the achievement of the goal of the program. So it's a more short-term thing, and it is something you will measure. You will likely have only one goal, but you may have more than one objective. So let's look at an example here. Which of the following is the best statement of the goal of the adolescent parenting program, and which is a better statement of the objective of it? Hit the pause button, look at those options, think about it, and think about what you think would be the better statement of the goal. Okay, I hope that you noticed that C is not a good statement of the goal. In fact, it's also not a good statement of the objective because it's focused upon services. So which statement, A or B, is a better statement of the goal, and which might be the better statement of the objective? I would say A is a better statement of the goal because it's a more long-term thing, and B is a statement of an objective that you might have. So because you may be training adolescent parents in regard to good parenting practices, so their knowledge, improving their knowledge, would be a measured amount of progress toward the goal of alleviating the negative social consequences of adolescent parenting. Here are some examples of objectives: to increase the proportion of at-risk youth who pass the end of grade exam, to reduce the depression of clients served by the cognitive behavioral therapy service, to improve the self-esteem of victims of child abuse, or to reduce the incidence of rehospitalizations of former patients due to failure to comply with discharge plans. So here are 4 examples of objectives that are focused, that would be considered to be measured amounts of progress toward the achievement of the goal. Tips for writing objectives: use a list format. Objectives 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them, again, focused on client benefit, not services provided. You will describe your services in your program description section of your grant proposal, but the objective should be related to benefit. Make sure the objectives are applicable to the program description. Use the exact format the funder requests and number accordingly. Make sure the objective is measured in your evaluation plan. So you will have a list of objectives, and each one will be measured in your evaluation plan. Here's a summary of what we've gone over. The goal is the long-range benefit to the client. The objective is the measured amount of progress toward the achievement of the goal. Both the goal and objective focuses upon client benefit, not services. And the objective should be measured in your evaluation plan. These are 4 key points we've made in this presentation. This is the end. I hope this is helpful to you.